Welcome to another episode of the Best Accountants Near Me podcast, powered by SavvyWise. Today, I'm honoured to be joined by Sarah as we sit here at the Accounting and Business Expo. How are you doing, Sarah?
I'm really well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're, I'd say, a huge influencer in the accounting industry.
Oh, I like that.
But
That's very kind. I don't think that, but that's very kind.
As I've been telling a few people, I'm a long-term stalker, first-time talker. And I've been really enjoying your podcast, Accountants After Hours.
Yeah, it's been really fun with Natalie Lennon. Yeah.
Something's in my head I want to ask, but I'll park that. Because first I think not everyone necessarily knows you. So tell us a bit about yourself.
Yep. So I started in accounting a couple of decades ago. I started in audit. I ended up in industry, in TV and advertising, because that was the most exciting industry I could think of when I was 19. So worked at Film Australia, did a stint in London working for Ewan McGregor and his mates in documentary, came back, worked in advertising, worked in kids TV, always really enjoyed the creative process and working with amazing humans that build beautiful things. And I love being part of that process, and always felt like it's quite a privilege being part of that process as the accountant in the room. So I decided to start Hot Toast so that I could take that same energy into the public practice space. And now we also have Hot Toast AI, which does like AI and RPA implementation as well for accounting firms, but also for small businesses. We do everything end to end. We're a very proud B Corp. And we've got a distributor team, which is predominantly women. And we work with some of the most amazing impact-driven businesses across Australia.
That's wonderful, really wonderful.
Oh, and I'm very, very involved in CPA. I do a lot of volunteer work across the industry because I love this industry and I love the opportunity that it's afforded me. And I feel like if you have the capacity and the desire, that you should try and give back for others.
You're a CPA divisional counsel or something?
I was on the divisional council a while ago. I'm on PPAC now, so that's the National Public Practice Advisory Committee. I chair the New South Wales Public Practice Committee. I'm on XPAC for Xero. I'm also a Ignition advocate as well. And I mentor a couple of amazing women in the industry as well.
Wow, you're everywhere.
I try to be.
Yeah, I was recently at my first member ambassador evening for CPA.
Oh, how did it go?
Oh, it was great. We were down at UWA, University of Western Australia.
Are they still trialling it, or is it properly launched now as a program?
I know it's properly launched, so I saw the email come through last year. I was like, that sounds cool. I did the online course, and and then the invites came across, and so one for UWA came up because it's the Accountants Association. Down there, the guild were putting on a night, and I was like, definitely I want to go, especially because for SavvyWise,
of course.
my co-founder, he's doing his master's in AI at UWA.
Oh, amazing!
And we started through Venture UWA's incubator program. So
I love that so much.
I had that connection. I was like, yes, I want to get there.
And so did you feel like you got what you wanted to get out of it, and the people, like, because you go down, like, explain for people, because it's a really impressive program. Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, what I loved seeing was the room was packed full of accountants there.
Yeah.
So it was, there are people entering the industry who want to be accountants, and then just talking with the students. So many come across the classic question was, why CPA over CA?
Yeah.
Sort of thing, and being just a member ambassador and working in the industry, I gave them just my perspective of when I was director at an accounting firm, this is how we went through, and so just great to just give back to the profession.
But also, it's really nice to be able to show people that are potentially looking at, like, what could a life in this industry look like, or a career in this industry, and the fact that, that old tried and tested, like, career trajectory of, like, going up to making partner and doing all the things, like, that is just one version of what you can do now. Like, accountants are everywhere. We're in industry, we're on boards, we're in technology, like we're in operations, we're in strategy, like we are in academia, we're in everything, right?
Yeah.
So like having somebody like you show, like, you can't, I am always saying, especially as a female, that you can't be what you can't see. So like having that data point in that context for other people is really great.
That's a big reason why we're doing the podcast, is so that we can have discussions around things that aren't necessarily on the socials where it's all looking glamorous.
Yep.
So one thing at the moment that I'm really like riled up about is just all the fear mongering around AI that I see post up about like tech people, and it's going to take our jobs and things like that.
Yep.
And so having the conversation with accountants and like filming it so that they can see, yeah, AI is important, but we're doing it at a sensible pace as an industry.
Yeah.
And you can go at your own pace and don't fall for some of the tech spill that says necessarily, oh, it's just going to come in and wipe everyone out in 18 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there'll be other important conversations.
So playing devil's advocate, why do you think it won't? What is your case for it not having a huge amount of disruption in this industry?
Well, it's not that it won't have a disruption aspect, but the classics.
Displacement aspect?
Yeah, it's the thing is, what I've observed in working in business is just how long things take. That humans tend to sort of way overestimate how quickly we can do things.
Yeah.
So like the 18 months thing, I'm like, yeah, I think pace for having it changed, especially what happened at the pace of humans. So but not necessarily 18 months, but if you go 10 years, I'm like, well, no, I think it'll be way quicker than that.
Yeah.
So, but each business.
So where do you think we're going to be in 5 years' time as an industry?
Bigger than ever, more influential than ever.
And what does the role of accountant look like in 5 years' time in public practice to you then?
I think we as an industry, or at least what I've seen, there's going to have to be a real big shift in the upskilling of our talent to use technology, and especially this technology that happens.
Yep.
I don't know, mate, or maybe I'm not seeing, obviously I don't see everything, but at the firms that I've worked with and seen, accountants haven't necessarily been the most tech savvy people that I've worked with over time. So they're going to have to upskill from that part. But the relationships part is so important.
But if they don't upskill, that creates all the conditions for disruption.
Yeah, yep. I suppose, yeah, absolutely. There are going to be some people who go quick and hard, and they're going to take a massive pie of it all because they'll implement.
And do you
really
think
well.
that it's going to be from the industry, or do you think that's going to be from tech players? Like inside the industry or outside?
I think it's going to be probably more task specific.
Yeah,
it depends on the whole thing. Like clients are very sticky to relationships and the like. So
are Gen Z sticky to relationships though?
Well, they're not. I suppose this is where it's like, what if different firms and who are their clients?
But also, what is valuable to different generations might not be valuable to other generations coming in.
I've always thought that the generations aspect, that people are like, oh, this generation thinks differently to my generation. I think it's actually more life stage.
Okay.
Like when a lot of, say, boomers were at the age of where Gen Z is now, they were probably actually, I think, probably closer to what they are than they think. But you go through life and different priorities come in and different experiences influence you. Not to say that the generations don't have their differences.
Yeah.
But I always, sort of push back on that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I don't think anybody has any idea. I think at the end of the day, everybody is hypothesizing, and I think we have a lot of data points, and I think we have I always like to follow the money. There's a lot of money that's kind of been poured into AI in the last couple of years, and there's definitely an ROI that needs to be captured at the big end of town between the LLMs. And to do that, my concern is that to realize that ROI, you need to disrupt entire verticals. And so that's going to be a real motivator for them. And I'm also concerned about the concentration risk at the big end of town. And I've said this many times, 8 billion people didn't consent to have 6 people in the world make decisions on our behalf, and when you hear people talk about people talking about energy being more efficient at a AI level compared to an output per human, I think that is really concerning around what does humanity hold special and how do we ensure that we hold that special for us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. There's going to be very important discussions there from a human
Yeah.
point of view
Yeah.
that are going to happen. So, yeah, absolutely. What's great, I listened to your last podcast and you said something, I'm like, man, people need to hear this. You said you've got all your 2025 financial work done by November.
Yeah, by 30th of November.
Yeah. So, like, how are you doing that?
So we started building a couple of years ago. And I think on the podcast, I was also very clear that we never got the offshore model correct.
Yes.
And I knew that I wanted to grow still. And so I had a problem. And my pain point is, how do I get people in to do the work, quality work consistently? And we couldn't fill that gap with offshore people. We tried originally to bring people onshore. That's somewhat hard, a challenge for us when we're a distributed business as well. So we decided to go all into tech, and we engaged a developer and we started building out our RPA capability. And we kind of started with the low hanging fruit in the business around BASs and IASs and payroll tax and all the things. And then we kind of went, okay, well, what does a massive win look like and what does an ROI look like for us? And that, okay, well, how can we condense the tax cycle for us? And so we got to work on that, and we started testing probably end of 30th of June 2025, and then we were ready to go by the 1st of August. And so we put it into play, and effectively everything got done. I mean, it only takes a couple of hours for the robots to effectively process that and go through that process. The biggest bottleneck was actually the humans, because we're still very mindful of we are very mindful of the human in the loop journey. And so we always make sure that the human's at the start and the end of that process. But also they don't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And, and there needs to be some kind of integrity and verification and sign off and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we finished everything. We had a KPI in place for 30th of November and we absolutely hit that. And it has been a massive win for us. And I've been asked over the last couple of months around, which I always think is important to note, just around like, well, what did you do with that? What are you doing with that capacity now? And what does that potentially look like? And it's like, well, actually, let me take a step back. I've been asked around like, well, what does an ROI look like for that? And people feeling like, oh, everyone's talking about AI and all of this automation stuff, but no one's giving solid like KPIs around that. And it's like, well, we've just done it, because like we've now got from the 1st of December to now, we have got like blue sky. So at the moment, the team are working on upskilling, additional advisory services, doubling down on client relationships. Like, how can we kind of like, refocus on what we're doing and make next year better? So there's a real, there's a real ROI on what we're doing. And I think that's what you need to keep in mind. And that's what you also need to be measuring if you're going on this journey as well.
Like putting this together, are these 6-figure projects to go from 0 to capable?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it was a investment, as you would know. You're in this space as well. No risk, no reward. Like, yes, there's a good chance that what we've done will be redundant in a couple of years' time. We only have a small competitive advantage at the moment because we're seeing around us what other people are doing. But I've always come from a world where I've been intentional about making bets on certain things and being okay with it going either way and backing myself and running as fast as I can. So, but I'm also putting a bet on where I think this industry is going to head in the next 5 to 10 years. And so I feel like, for me to invest what I have and then also have the huge upside around that as well. Like, it's not just the investment in the developer, but it's, the training with the team, the start of that relationship with how do tech people work with accountants. Like, we've now been able to like build out additional services for our clients. We've been able to now go into businesses and small businesses and do this for other people, and, have the accountants come on the journey and all of that as well. So it's actually been a positive, a net positive overall. But I would say no risk, no reward. And we did put our neck out, and we could have absolutely got burnt around it. And we still might. It's, who knows?
That's the true entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, and it's scary. It's really scary. I know a lot of people, don't want to be the first one out there doing it, and they're more than happy to be a fast follower. I am not built that way. And that's scary. I mean, I would much rather have had that money sitting in my pocket, and going back to me, but we made a decision to go for it.
So Hot Toast does this for other accounting firms or does this for small businesses?
Yeah. So we're doing it both at the moment. So we're doing it for other accounting firms, but we've also had some really great wins with other small businesses, because we do a lot of, we do everything end to end. So when you're sitting there having a conversation, like a CFO conversation or an advisory conversation, it is a very easy jump to turn around and go, what do your systems look like? What does automation look like to you? How can we potentially look at your workflow, unblock all of those blockers across your entire business? And then how can we, and we've been seeing great results. It's like, how can we basically put an extra 15% on your P&L, So with that, look, nice. That sounds really great, but there has also been a component of that around change management, because when we say we're putting 15%, what we're effectively doing is making you more efficient with technology.
Yep.
And so there is a human element to that around, well, what then happens to the humans that we're doing that? So yeah, it's been a bit of a movable feast, and I think we're getting it right now. We're hitting our straps in this area, but it's been a big learning journey as well.
So do you typically see what happens with that humans is that right now there's been a lot of news articles of all these layoffs.
Yep.
Is that layoffs happening, or are they literally doing things that they could never otherwise get onto doing because they were just so bogged down doing the other stuff?
So in my experience with Hot Toast, I would say we absolutely did not nail this. I got really excited, and you may feel this as well, but I got very excited around seeing the vision and where we could take this and what this could look like. And I didn't do a good enough job of bringing the team along on that journey as well. And so what we saw in the earlier days is like things would stop in the process, and at that stage, you would generally go to the developer and say, okay, well, there's been an error or omission or whatever. How can we work together to basically work through that? But in the early days, what we were seeing is some of our team members, our junior team members, were just going, I'll just finish it off manually, So it was actually retraining people around how they looked at certain things and how they worked, but also taking them on the journey and saying, this does not mean your job's going to be redundant. This is what your trajectory now looks like at Hot Toast. Instead of the doing, you're going to the reviewing, and this is what an exciting career looks like to you. So I didn't nail it, and so I'm very conscious of that when we do anything with Hot Toast, but also with other clients, and I'm always very upfront with them. I'm like, the build might start today, but you need to start thinking about the people today as well around what this looks like. What's that next thing? How are you evolving their skill set? What does that now look like? And bringing them along on the journey. So, but I personally haven't seen, I know that displacement's happening at the top end of town. I haven't seen that in our space yet.
Mm. And
have you? That's interesting. You're out there talking to a lot of accountants. How are you feeling out there at the moment?
I generally see most accountants are in very early double stage. Of these things. So they're not even at the stage where they're getting the efficiency. They've been like other partners I've spoke to in the past have been like, I'm really worried about the next generation of accountants and
around the development of their skill set
and like what are they going to do if the technology does everything? But they're also typically later adopters of technology.
I would push back on that. Because we all used to have T-sheets and we used to be doing and ledgers and stuff like that. Like we're humans, we evolve.
We just find other things to do.
We just find other things and we evolve and we put checks and balances in place, and then we double down on this thing because we need to build out our skill set here. I think the the key is to be intentional about it and understand, well, what does that look like? And if there's a gap in learning, how do I make sure that they have the support, maybe from a human to human perspective, as opposed to just assuming they can just start reviewing or doing whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah,
if
but
I was still at Munro, oh yeah. So with Hot Toast, is there like an ideal target client for you in terms of accounting firm size? Are you going for the big end of town, big four, or are you?
no. So we will always go bigger because we get in there and build out the infrastructure for them. So, and it's always quite end to end. So our clients in the accounting side of the business are, generally like 10 plus employees.
Yeah.
And then we have the opportunity to really come in and dig in and kind of like, because at the smaller end of town, like people are bootstrapped and they're trying tinkering and they're doing all of this. And I totally appreciate them. But yeah, we've found the best ROI and the best result with people that are a little bit bigger, a little bit more, established.
So 10 and plus to
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
Sort of like that, like a big EY, for example, would be.
Oh, look,
they're probably doing their own thing.
Yeah, no, EY can, anytime that EY wants to come and buy Hot Toast AI, Drew,
Yeah, you heard that here, EY.
You come and send me an email. Let's do lunch.
Yep. Okay, so Munro's were about 30 accountants when I was working there, so it sounds like ideal for you. What's it look like in terms of what's the first interaction? They're going, all right, oh yeah, we're definitely interested in something that's going to help us get through all the client work by November.
We come and do a workflow plan. So we basically go in and go, well, what is the current state of play in your business? What are you currently using? What does that look like? And then we'll dig into we'll basically break it down, like you're saying, via task and whatnot. And then we'll always pick the lowest hanging fruit in that list as well. Again, that's the change management piece as well, making sure that we're kind of introducing this technology at an entry level so that people can kind of get around it. So usually we'll start with like IASs and BASs and whatnot because it's an easy lift and people want as much help in that area to get those out the door as quickly as possible.
Do they need a certain level, certain like softwares for those, or are you just agnostic?
So we'll basically fit in with your software. So we'll build the architecture around your software, and anything that a human can do at that kind of entry level or mid level, we basically can get the technology to mimic it. We're at a stage now with technology, and you would know this, that anything where there's a repeatable process or anything like that, that is really easy to automate now. That's really easy to build out infrastructure. And what we'll effectively do, hi. And what we'll effectively do is the process is we'll do the workflow plan, we'll break it down by task, and then we'll start with low-hanging fruit. But it's really simple. We'll effectively just ask them to record exactly what they would do and how they would do that process, and we will just build it exactly the same.
Do you get into a waiting period where you're waiting for them to record it and everything? Because I know accountants tend to get very busy.
It's not actually that part because people want the efficiency. You know what the hardest part is the data quality. The data quality and the fact that everyone thinks that their processes are better than what they are and that their data is better than what they are.
Yep.
So there's usually a period of like, okay, can we do some data integrity checks here and make sure that everything is mapped accordingly and you've got these processes in place and that makes sense. And we'll even sometimes step back with people and go, like, if they show us their process, I'll be like, do you maybe think you could think about doing it this way and it would be far more efficient? They're like, because I think people get busy and over time processes evolve. And then all of a sudden there's like this 15-step process and I'm like, why? Because
do you get much pushback with that?
No. Because it's always been done that way. And also the technology will eventually they will drive that efficiency for them. And once you can show people, I feel like most people are quite visual. Like once you can show people the results and, everything gets done on the first day of the new month, all of a sudden they're like, okay.
And it must really benefit them that they're like, okay, well, I'm actually talking with an accountant who's already done this.
That's what I think like our superpower is like we live in this world, like we get it. I run a firm, like, we've done really well in making sure that every engagement is not just with the tech people. again, an early learning that I went through, which is like, don't let the tech people run anything independently. Always make sure that they're paired nicely with the accountants. But yeah, so I think there's that level of comfortability and familiarity as well. And people go, okay, well, she gets us. She's one of us. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And we've actually won work because of that. Oh, we went to this like tech company or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I know you. You are us. I know what you're trying to achieve.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you build up the infrastructure for the firm.
Yep.
Is that then theirs, or are they getting that
Yeah,
from you on a
can be
consistent
both.
basis?
So we can either do it where we'll do an engagement where we'll basically build it for them and then pop them on like a monthly retainer, which is like a maintenance fee and any updates or things that need to happen. But that's theirs. Or alternatively, they can use on our side, and we can basically just send them a bill each month.
I mean, I know definitely if the maintenance side of tech it's always there, a constant thing. I would want the person who built it and knows it to be behind us.
Because I think because you come from this world, I think your natural instinct would be, well, I want it because I want you to build it out for me and I want to like rinse and repeat or whatever it is, right? But most people are busy. They want, and that's how I'm trying to position Hot Toast AI. Like, think of us as like your in-house like CTO and like, tech team, that you can basically touch base and drop into. And if things come up, then like we're always across it and we can keep updating and
use
building.
that expertise. It's just like we tell our clients.
It's like an outsourced finance function.
Yeah.
Like this is your outsourced tech company or your tech department, So, yeah.
Yeah. Are there other things that come after this process?
Like what?
Like you've gone through, you've identified.
Why? Is there something there should be?
Well, I don't know. I'm asking the question because there might be something that I don't know. I'm sure like there's a never-ending list of things that you can do.
Yeah, so we just basically start.
What about the training of the team members?
Yep, we do all of that as well. We do all of that as well. And that's also quite a gentle process. So that's done in collaboration with, obviously, because no one wants anyone coming outside and telling them how to do it. But we do have a huge like uplift in terms of like, hey, this is how this is going to present itself in your systems and what is going to happen. And we'll show people the process before we actually launch anything. And there's a level of comfortability and whatnot around that as well. And also like, this is to amplify your impact in an accounting firm. This is not about replacement. This is about enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
So, and most accountants are like, I don't want to do that. That kind of like transactional stuff is like, yeah, I do want to spend more time doing this exciting part of my job. So.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. Is there anything that comes up during these conversations where you don't do it specifically, but you're always telling these firms, oh, you should really look into this software or this service? Is there anyone you want to like give a shout out to now? You're just thinking it's a kind of like a no-brainer that everyone should be using this.
Yeah, I mean, look, we still generally stick with the more traditional tech stack. So like Ignition, Xero, Carbon, FYI docs.
Yeah.
But we're generally working from the ground up. So you're going the other way down. Do you know what I mean? So like do you know what I mean? Like you're going from advisory down. We're going from the ground up and we're building out. So, but no, not really. Not really. We're like for us, we're just trying to keep on building out our capabilities. So like now we've got a senior AI developer that's like coming in-house and like some more developers and more client managers and whatnot. But at the same time, like we can't be everything to everybody. I'm always comfortable. Like I've got a really strong network and like I feel like that's actually also a superpower of most accountants that allow them to like, hit well above their average because they go, okay, well I can send that to Drew or I can send that to here, like, and we know the boundaries that we work in.
So someone sees this podcast and they're like, I want that.
Yeah.
How quickly can they actually get that from you, Sarah? Do you have that much demand for your service, and because you're building up all these resources, is it something they're going to have to wait for, or how quickly can you sort of?
They have to wait for. So you call me now and we can talk next week.
Yeah.
But no, there's not a lot of runtime. There's a lot of runtime in the initial build stage, but once everything's like set up, and then we're kind of like, what we like to do is like with certain tasks, we'll basically have them cascading. So things will be dropping at certain times after the testing period's done. But no.
It sounds super fascinating.
Yeah.
But from a
thank
visualization point of
you.
view, you should get Jeff,
Yeah.
who's behind the camera right now, to come in and like literally record how you're doing these meetings, so then visual.
It's amazing. It's
You know?
amazing. I think, but that's always an aha moment. And you would see that in what
Oh
you do
yeah.
as well. Like, it's one thing to talk at somebody, it's another thing to say, actually, I don't need to talk, just watch this. And then it like does a tax work
Well,
paper
that's what's
like
happening
in an hour,
right
A to
now
Z.
over here with the laptops that we have, where people coming up and trying to use SavvyWise, like, well, what is SavvyWise? And we're like,
break it? Are
"What?"
you trying to say, are you going to
yeah.
break it?
Yeah, well, that's why Axe is over there to get all the feedback. So he's got a list of things to work
Yeah.
on. But like the visualization point of view, they go, oh, can you tell me a bit about SavvyWise? I'm like, how about you come over here and start using
Yeah,
it?
exactly right. And I think that's always the aha moment with people. And people get so busy, and that's why these events are so great, because you're carving out time to basically invest in yourself and invest in your
Yeah.
business. So
There's something that you said earlier that I'm not sure if everyone knows what it is, and I wanted to get your take on it. Tell me, you said you're proud to be a B Corp.
yeah.
What's a B Corp?
Oh, okay. You don't know what a B Corp is. Okay, so
No, I'm more saying there are going to be people who don't know.
Okay, so effectively, B Corp is a certification, and it's a process to get certified. But the whole ethos behind B Corp is that our focus as a business isn't just on profit, that we hold with the same weight a focus on social and community and environment. And that's super important to me, because I truly believe that business is the best vehicle that we have to, impact society and do good out there in the world. Um, so basically, the B Corp certification holds us accountable to that. It basically is a
Okay, yeah.
framework. So you have to apply for you have to apply to a B Corp, you get audited, you have to pass the test, and then every 3 years we then need to go back through a recertification. And it's no joke. Like, if you're thinking about doing it from a marketing perspective, I would say think again, because honestly, it is, we had to basically embed additional processes in our business and certain different policies and procedures to change our constitution, to note that it wasn't just specific to profit. So it's no joke. Like, it is a rigorous certification that we take super seriously and we're super proud of, because it matters to me and the team to get that tick of approval. So, and I think there's only probably a couple in our space, in the SME space, that actually Amar, who's just walked up, he's now recently B Corp certified as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so there are a few of us that are really focused on that. But like I said, I think more than politics, I think back in the day, you used to feel like going into politics, what a way to like change society and do good and give back. But I just think with what's happening now and happening over the generations, like, there's no better way to do that than business,
I 100% agree. Like, 100% are on
Yeah,
that.
I love that.
Literally always just say the way to improve everyone's lives
Yeah.
by helping entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They're the ones out
Helping
there.
entrepreneurs, helping the community. How can I reinvest back in the community? How can I make sure people like have some level of financial learning? How can I make sure that we work with clients that are out there doing good, and like we're actually supporting, and not in like a tick and flick way every single year, but like a boots on the ground. Tell me about your business. Let me get into the trenches. How do you feel about this? How can we help you succeed so that you can succeed out there in the
There
world?
is totally a whole nother podcast there to be talking about
Yeah.
that subject.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, I know you're going to do some AI training
Yep.
that you've arranged
Yep.
with CPA. You want to tell us about
Yes. Oh, yeah, great. So we are, so off the back of everything that's happening, and as you said, out there is a little bit of uncertainty around what's going on in the industry and whatnot, and how we effectively bring AI safely into our business and our firms. We have got on the 30th of April a CPA AI Build Day. It's been run by the New South Wales Public Practice Committee, and it is a hand-on build day. So there's 2 streams, and we're going to start with a bit of a state of the industry panel, but then we're going to get straight into the trenches with some of the most amazing builders in this industry that have very generously given up their time to come and, accountants, helping accountants basically build and muck in and kind of start on that journey for the more beginner stream, or
Yep.
not beginner, but I would just say people that, are across Chat GPT and whatnot, but then kind of want to level up from there. And then stream B will be like a little bit more detailed and a little bit more experience around like multi-step agents and orchestration and whatnot.
But more for the power users.
It'll be more for the power users, but the whole vibe and ethos of the day is how can we give you the tools so that on Monday when you go back to your firm, it's something that you can start to think about integrating into your firm that saves you time. That saves you time and means that it gives you back your life or gives you back hours so that you can focus on doing what you want to be doing in your business.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
vital. It's really been a theme that I've caught on to the last month of going around talking with accountants. Is they're very much, look, I understand that this stuff is there,
but I don't know how to get there.
Yeah,
I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it feels like. I don't know what's possible. And then I don't know how to skill up. So
accountants helping accountants is perfect.
Exactly right, because we know you, we get you, we understand what we're doing in our firm and how we can then help you do the same thing. And so that's really exciting. So that's on the 30th of April in Sydney.
How do they get tickets?
Via the CPA website.
And do you have to be a CPA?
So we'll put them in the show notes.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And right here.
But can I just end on just one note? Because
Absolutely.
I feel like if the focus here is for people considering coming into this world, I know that sometimes we haven't landed the branding around being an accountant, but I honestly, truly believe there has never been a better time to be in this industry. And whilst there is fear across all industries at the moment about what could the next 5 and 10 years look like, there is also immense opportunity around how can I service businesses and community and my tribe to build something beautiful with impact and create a living for myself to do that as well. So, like I am so incredibly fortunate for the opportunities that this industry has given me. And I would say that don't count out the accounting industry. If you are considering doing what, looking at your career ahead, it doesn't mean you're going to be out punching out tax returns or data processing or whatever. It means that you have the opportunity to have a vibrant, rewarding, evolving career that can take you and traverse across industries and across skills. And so seriously consider accounting.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to add anything because that was just perfect. So I'd say, well, there you have it. The accounting industry, as vibrant as ever, for the AI-assisted future of accounting, starting right now with SavvyWise and Hot Toast AI.
Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you for having me.